good evening and welcome. My name's Wendy McCallum. I'm a psychic medium from Surrey in the UK, and I'm originally from Kilmarnock in Ayrshire in Scotland. You are watching A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV, so thank you so much for joining me this evening. So I thought I would talk to you a little bit about the dark night of the soul tonight, and then I'm going to do a little bit of a generic reading or a collective reading, shall we say. Okay, so to save time, I just pulled some cards, and it's actually quite exciting. I get really excited about this. So what is the dark night of the soul? What does it mean? The dark night of the soul is when you're going through a very, very difficult situation, and the way that I see it, or the way that I feel it, or know it, is it's almost like we have a saying here in England or Scotland, or you can't see the wood for the trees. It's almost like you get consumed, yeah, and you just seem to lose yourself for a little bit. So normally, dark night of the soul is kind of, it starts by having had a difficult situation or a traumatic situation or some difficulties that you're experiencing and you're trying to get through. So for example, it could be the loss of a loved one. It could be the breakdown of a marriage. It could be a diagnosis of an illness or a terminal illness. It could be that you've had, like myself, like a near-death experience where you've been critically ill in hospital, and then you're trying to recover, and then all of a sudden it's just kind of like, well, what is this all about, you know? And it's almost like I feel that the majority of people on a spiritual journey, whether you're spiritual or whether you're psychic or whether you're medium, but we go through ups and downs, we go through ups and downs. And these ups and downs is really necessary for a spiritual evolution, and it helps us find our purpose. So when we start going through this dark night of the soul, it's almost like nothing makes sense anymore. There is no purpose. There's no purpose to anything. And it can be really, really hard, because I can feel as I'm beginning to talk about this how much it's actually connecting with me, you know, and actually you end up being in this pretty bleak place where you begin to shut yourself away from the world, and you shut yourself away from those that you love, and those that want to help you, but unless you actually make them aware that you're going through a difficult situation, then they can't help you. But what this is, it's kind of like a spiritual awakening, and it's almost like Eckhart Tolle talks about this as well, so you'll find quite a bit about it on his website. You're going to have to excuse me, I've got a little chica dog, yeah, my little fluff puff, yeah, and she's crying because she wants up in the chair beside me, so she's not going to stop until she gets up there. Shall I just show you my little chica? Hold on, let me just show you. That's my little cheeky dog, yeah. So she likes to be included in everything that we're doing, so I do apologise, but she wouldn't have let me continue with introducing her, so I hope you like her. Anyway, this is about spiritual awakening, and it's almost like you've got to go through like the death of the ego, yeah, to get through this spiritual journey. It's like it's about breaking away from what we know and what we feel. And then it's shifting into, it's just shifting alignment and shifting our values and shifting our beliefs. And it's almost like what we believed doesn't make sense anymore, yeah. So then it's about finding your purpose. And really it's kind of like when I talk about the ego to me is the personality self, yeah. And the ego is the thing that holds us back from everything, or it creates the problems. It's your mind. It's like the part of you that says, no, you're not good enough. No, I can't do that. No, this, no, that, you know. And it's about having to let go of that ego to begin to find yourself. And they reckon that there's 6 stages to going through this. The first one is disruption, which is the triggering event, which would be the reason why that you feel lost, and then you feel that you've lost your sense of direction and you lost your sense of hope. And I know that that sounds quite depressing and low. You hit rock bottom and then you feel isolated, you feel you've got no friends. And also depression comes into this as well. So sometimes depression can come in alongside this. And then you begin to wake up again, because you then begin to see that there's light at the end of the tunnel, and actually your beliefs have changed. You know, what was important to you before, you realise it's really not that important anyway. So just like for an example, for use of better words, you know, when I was in hospital, I nearly died, and things were important to me, material things, and you just realise that actually material things are of no value whatsoever, that people are so precious and valuable, and you know that life is so short that you just, if I passed away, would I feel fulfilled? You know, the things that were not important to you, your perceptions change on them. Now, please may I say that if you are struggling with depression and things like that, there is the Samaritans out there that you can phone, and I believe the Samaritans is also in America, it's in the UK. Please speak to your GP or your doctor. You know, there's places like Step Change that help you with finances. There's grief counselling there, you know, and also good psychics and mediums, you know, can actually help you move through these things. You know, what do you do when you're going through this? There's no point talking about it and then not giving you the help that you need to get through it. So for me, it's been like trying to find positives when I'm feeling really flat and really low. So like gratitude, you know, like I'm so grateful for my little cheeky dog, you know, she's the little thing that cheers me up every day. She's one of my reasons to get up out of bed, my reason to walk, you know. Find you feel, when you've been through the dark night, you feel disconnected from your soul, disconnected for your spiritual journey. So try and connect back to nature. So like go for that walk, ground yourself. We spoke about grounding the other week and how important it is. If you haven't seen that, maybe you should watch the previous show, yeah. Do you know what? Do things to cheer yourself up. Switch off the news, the gloom, doom, and despair, and then bring some things in that make you happy, that make you smile, and find little things to be grateful for. And initially, it's really quite hard, but you will get there. Crystals that are able to help you with this is black tourmaline. So we've got some black tourmaline here, and we've got some black obsidian. So like something like this, because that can absorb negativity. Get a little bit of a bracelet like this. These are great. And do you know what? Sometimes selenite's great as well. So I've got a selenite tower here. Selenite's great for helping you connect spiritually, and sit and meditate, you know, meditate on it and find your way forward. And always one of my favourites ever is lovely rose quartz. Always have a bottle of rose quartz and tell yourself you're loved. Believe that you're loved, because you are loved, okay? I know so many people going through this at the minute. I know that it's a bit of a, as I said, depressing subject to talk about, but I feel it's an important thing to talk about, because you do get through it and you can get through it. And I always say tomorrow is another day. You might be feeling low today, but something might bring some joy into your life tomorrow. So you never know exactly what's going to happen. So look, I pulled a few cards on this, and the first card that I pulled out was this lovely card, and it says the muse, yeah, but basically this card is about finding things to bring that joy into your life. So it can be sparking your creativity, doing your meditation, just doing things that will generally make you feel uplifted, art, music. Do you know what I did the other day? Yeah, I look like a crazy lady. I put Pharrell Williams' Happy on, right, up full blast, yeah, and I danced about the house like nobody was watching. Well, nobody was watching, and I hope none of the neighbours seen. But you know what? Little things like that really uplift your soul and make you feel so much better when you're feeling flat or low. This next card is about conflict. It's about conflict between your inner world and your outer world, and it not feeling quite balanced, yeah? And you know, as you go through this and meditate and you do these things, then you're finding the balance back in. And this lovely card come out, Archangel Michael, and that's about giving you the strength. And always remember to invite your angels in to help you. They don't come unless you invite them to help. They don't interfere in your life. So always invite your angels in. So there's Archangel Michael, and then there's Archangel Raphael for the healing that you need at this time. And it's almost like this new journey is opening up. This new journey is opening up. And there is a meeting of two. Now, this might be, it says a fated meeting on this card, yeah, but it feels like it's an important new relationship. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a love relationship. It could be a business relationship or a new relationship going forward that helps you put business into practice, you see. And this again, because I can't get the card off the table. The card actually says views of the ego. So it's about letting the ego go, letting the ego self go, yeah, to embrace the new, embrace these opportunities. And I just want to keep going on about this lovely new journey that's opening up for you. Yeah, it just feels wonderful. Sometimes, my lovely friends, we've got to go through the dark to find the light. And you know what, when you go through the dark, and when you're going through the dark, you actually find that, oh my goodness, there's just so much more out there. There's just so much more to it than what we know. We're only scratching on the surface with things. So let the cards speak. Invite Archangel Michael in to help you through these difficult times. Archangel Raphael to get the healing. Use your lovely crystals for your grounding and absorbing that negativity. And you know what, get out into nature. Invite your lovely friends in and give yourself a purpose, because there is a purpose. You are being brought on this earth and you're a very special being. And there's very special things coming up for you. You just have to be brave and take that step forward.